UPK.
UPK is
Genius on air.
UPK is genius on air.
Thank you very much. I need somebody with a human touch. Hey, you, always on the run. Gotta slow it down, baby. Gotta have some fun.
Good evening, everybody!
Good evening!
Welcome to another Friday, only here on UPK. It's Genius on Air.
Yes!
So, guys, what do you think should stop today? Ate Kyra, what do you think should stop today?
I don't know. This has something to do with our episode today.
I think so.
You just asked us a random question.
I think we should stop fidgeting a lot.
Yeah.
I feel weird today.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. But before we start with that, how is everybody?
I'm great.
I'm good.
I'm amazing.
It's a Friday. Perfect. It's a Friday.
Summer.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to our show once again. And tonight we will be talking about a lot of things and things that we need to let go of. You know,
Yeah,
things
things we need to let go and
accept or
move
do
on.
something
Forward.
about, right?
Move on.
Because the
Pretty
title
better.
of our show for tonight is
It stops today.
Yes, it stops today. So for those of you who would like to give a suggestion or if there's anything that you would like to let us know, kindly hook us up on email at upkisgeniusonair@gmail.com and our Facebook account, Kara.
It is www.facebook.com/UPKisGeniusOnAir.
Yes, and our Twitter account is at upkisgeniusonair. And Miss Cassandra, what is our Instagram account for those who would like
At
to
Genius on Air.
know? And our YouTube channel is
UPK is
Genius
Genius on
on
Air.
there.
Don't
So
forget
those
to
are
subscribe.
Yeah.
Those are the places where you can get to know us more. We'd love to hear more from you. Of course, we'd like to thank once again Ado's Kitchen Filipino Food
Yes.
Delivery for the sumptuous
Lunch.
Yeah.
lunch dinner.
Lunch dinner.
If there's one thing that shouldn't stop today, it's the
It's
delivery.
live. Yeah.
But you need to stop moving your hand on
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Whatever.
I was just gonna say.
The boundary.
Yeah.
The wall.
Aldo's Kitchen Filipino Food is located at 378-B Dansalan Street, Mandaluyong City. If you'd like to have food delivered from them, you may contact their number at 0917-333-3198. That's 0917-333-3198. Okay, so let's begin. Who initiated this topic, by the way?
Dun, 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 dun.
Hi.
Shara.
So yeah.
Why?
Well, I noticed that people usually have their own insecurities about things, and there's always something holding them back from doing something. So that should stop today.
So what
And-
you mean
yeah.
by stopping today is the insecurities that we have?
Yeah.
Oh.
What prevents us from doing what we love or what we want to do?
How about bad habits?
Yeah, the thing about insecurities is that it usually tends to lead to bad habits.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a form of withdrawal. I don't know. It's some sort of withdrawal that happens.
Defense mechanism.
Defense mechanism.
Yeah.
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 Is it something like what I often hear from young people? I cannot get over something.
Yeah. It's true.
But the thing about young people is that they also learn how to move on. You know, like
Yeah.
like that song that's been playing around in the commercial. Yung tuloy pa rin ang
Ah.
awit ko.
One thing that I would like to propose that we stop beginning today is the wrong impression of people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like
Creating prejudices about people.
yeah, like for example,
Oh, right.
introverts and extroverts. People usually tend to summate a person's character just by labeling them as either an introvert or an extrovert. Where in reality, it's just a part of who they are. I actually have a lot of
Sige, what is an introvert?
information here.
Sige, let's
An
define.
introvert
Sounds like me.
Yeah.
Other Gito is a 25-ish introvert.
Yeah.
Yes.
An introvert is actually someone who chooses not to stay within the boundaries of a social circle. But it's not that they can't or they have the inability to do so. They just simply choose not to.
They're not antisocial.
Yeah, they're not
Yes.
antisocial.
They
In fact, there are a lot of introverts who can manage well within a crowd. It's just that they just really choose not to.
They get their energy from being alone.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
While extroverts well, they're not exactly the opposite. They kind of like just jive much easier within the crowd. There's nothing that's holding them back. That's also where they get.
There's also another word, diba? Yung ambiverts.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
ambiverts.
What are ambiverts?
Isn't it a combination of the two?
Yes.
People call them the hybrids, right?
Oh yeah.
I believe we fall in that category.
Yeah.
Parang underworld eh.
I heard that a lot eh.
Where do you categorize yourself, by the way?
I think I'm a hybrid. Yeah. Or if it really does exist, because I noticed in my results for guidance tests, which are normally mandatory in school,
Yeah,
I tend
they
to be
are.
in the middle of the scale, a bit of both. And I guess it has something to do with also being a Libra. You tend to be
Oh
a little bit of both,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like Sir DV.
That's the thing about introverts and extroverts. I don't know if you guys do this, but do you guys check those horoscopes on the
Yeah.
internet? Like
Sometimes, yeah.
Like you're gonna check your sign and oh my gosh, this is
This is
totally
so me.
Yeah.
Andre, where do you categorize yourself?
I say that I'm an ambivert because I prefer when I'm alone. I don't mind being alone. I don't feel scared that I'm alone. I can do my own thing. And while I'm an extrovert, I don't mind socializing. I like to talk with you guys, Hannah, and yeah, I like socializing. So I'm a combination of me.
Cassandra.
Oh,
Haba.
Sandra.
you guys can just call me Cass.
Or Munchkin.
Or, yeah.
I think I'd say that I'm an extrovert. Because
You are?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would prefer going out with my friends or with you guys than staying at home.
No, but I think you are a hybrid as well. Kasi when we see you, you would rather be staying in one corner but no, yeah, I think okay, I take it back. I think you are an extrovert. Kasi Cass is the one to approach us first, diba?
That's true.
Diba? Every bawa, siya yung unang lalapit, siya yung mag-hi. She's not afraid to let go of whatever it is that she's holding on to or doing. Tapos, makikipagkwentuhan lang siya kahit minsan wala nang subject. Hi, gaganyan lang siya sa atin, diba?
Hi guys, how you doing?
Yeah.
You don't find it difficult to talk to people,
No.
even in public?
No, I think it's because of my dad. Because he is the epitome of extrovert.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So yeah.
I should know.
Yes, father. Yeah. So yeah, I think I got it from him. And my siblings are actually making fun of me. Not exactly. They're teasing me because both of them are introverted and I'm extroverted. And they're just like, you're just like Papa. And I was like, guys, can you stop?
Ikaw yung nakamana ng extrovert na
Yeah.
tatay mo.
So
The
yeah.
bad thing for us is introverts is only one third of the population are introverts.
Oh, that's
And all the rest
true.
are extroverts. So the extroverts like you think we're
They're kind of-
normal.
you know what's difficult as well is the misconception that introverts are actually shy people.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yes.
We're not. Madalas ako masabihan noon na pakaway-kaway sa TV, suplada sa personal. Kasi given it, let's say there is a task at hand and I need to talk to people, I would. But right after, as soon as I'm done with what I have to do, I go back to my corner and just sit there. I don't mind that I don't have to speak to anybody and I don't feel bad about it. Father Chito, you experienced that, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mind sitting alone, even in a crowded place. But given the choice, I would rather just go home and read a book. You know, kasi
Yeah.
minsan, it's also, I think, a bad habit among introverts. I don't know, Father, if you would agree. But we tend to size up people so easily. And then when we know that this person has a different intention during the course of conversation, parang alam mo na agad, and there, parang gate, bumabagsak na yung gate.
There's like a termination.
Unti-unti. and then, okay. Oh, I have to go. I have to be somewhere. right,
But
Father?
it's really a matter of preference. We're not against crowds.
Yes.
I can work. I can join crowds too. I have to work with a lot of people.
Yeah,
being
Father,
pleased.
publicly speaking,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
You have
especially
to
in
address
public
speaking
position.
people.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I want to be by myself and listen to my music or read a book.
Oh,
But you know, another thing is people tend to think that introverts are parang small talk lang. But once they get to know you, once you've earned their trust, introverts are the most talkative of all. Honestly, that is one definition of an introvert. Na pagka nagustuhan ka niya, kaya niya makipagkwentuhan sa'yo
about everything.
overnight. even overnight, mag-uusap lang, kwentuhan lang talaga. Kasi ang importante sa introverts yung yung bonding, yung trust issue, malaking yung trust issues ng isang tao.
They say introverts tend to socialize in a different way. That normally they would, as you mentioned a while ago, that in a crowd that they would talk and have some small conversation. But then a little bit later into the conversation, they would want to leave if they feel like the way the socialization is going isn't how they
Or
normally
alam na
do.
nila, yung paulit-ulit na lang. Okay.
The thing I don't understand is why do people summate other people so easily? You know,
Based
they
on first
generalize.
impression.
Yeah, based on first impressions, like introverts and extroverts, for example. Man is a social animal, right? So you can't really let go of the fact that people need to socialize with one another. Yeah, diba? So why would people think that introverts would purposefully want to stay alone or something so?
Yeah.
Don't you, this is my question with ambiverts and extroverts. Don't you find it difficult sometimes when you'll have to deal with people of different personalities?
Yes,
Yeah.
it does,
That's,
especially.
that's where I'm kind of having a hard time whenever I talk to people, especially I just met. Since you're not familiar with how to go with these people,
Yeah.
you don't know
Yeah,
how to
because-
approach them. Should I approach them subtly in a subtle way, or should I go, "Hey, hi, how are you?" Yung ganun.
Yeah, because extroverts have this set way of approaching a certain person. Do you either go in or don't go in at all? Oh, you go strong or you don't go at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is.
At first, I would be taken aback as to this person is like this, hindi pala siya yung madaling ma-approach or mahayan. But then in my experience, I easily adjust. Na ganito pala tao, so this is how I should approach her. I can do both, whether it's an introvert or extrovert.
One thing that I notice about people who don't find it difficult to approach other people is that the first thing that they do is smile.
Oh, di ba ganun si Kuya?
And he says he's not good with people.
Yeah, he claims.
Basic.
Yeah, because like people have different personalities, so if you're observant enough, you'd be able to adjust yourself to like how to talk to them.
Okay, let's talk about Let's talk about that's personality types, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about why people are brought into that type of personality. I don't think that it's wrong to label, not actually label. I don't think that it's wrong to categorize people na ganito siya. Kasi that's one way of understanding each other eh. Kasi
Yeah.
human
Yeah.
behavior is very complex. So hindi natin siya pwede.
Yeah.
Nagbabago yan eh. Hindi siya parang one way street
One way.
lang.
Yeah.
Hindi siya yung parang defined lang from the
It's just-
1800s until now. Isang klase lang siya.
Actually, Dr. Malcolm Gladwell,
Okay.
I think that one-way road you're talking about is speaking. Most people usually equate speaking with extroversion or introversion, depending on how much you want to speak, right? Well, according to him, speaking is not an act of extroversion. It's pretty
Oh.
natural among everybody to speak to one another. So it's not a factor at all.
It's a necessity.
Yeah, it's a
It's a means
necessity.
of communication.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with your personality.
I guess it has something to do with personality in the sense that your personality is what is who you are based on where you came from, of your environment. So like if your upbringing there, your culture, I guess that's how it
Yeah.
gets related to personality.
Yeah.
speaking.
People usually tend to think that extroverts are the happy-go-lucky kind of person, and they're
That's
Not necessarily.
yeah, not necessarily.
stereotype, right?
Like we have questions for introverts as well. Like minsan kami yung atat eh. Like yeah, kasi like syempre introverts don't
Ask me.
like these are genuine questions, but when kasi like it's like you need a return or something, because you start to wonder if your introvert friends like you. Yeah,
Oh,
because like you
okay.
keep on talking like, am I annoying you guys or something? And then
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay,
Feels good.
okay.
Am I being too strong?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah.
Are you still okay?
Are we still friends?
Because extroverts would be a little more engaged.
Yes.
Yeah.
Introverts would just look at you, listen to you intently,
They like-
and would hardly utter a word.
Observing.
Yeah.
Actually, sometimes the silence of an introvert is all you need. The comfort that they give you when they listen to everything you say.
Good listener.
Yeah, that's something I like about.
Yeah. I guess that's
But
a
one
good
thing
quality,
I
but-
think in based on not an impression but observation, extroverts are less trusting of people more than introverts, I think. Kasi introverts, they don't mistrust or they don't not trust people, but introverts are more cautious. But extroverts are more like hindi superficial pero yung mas mahirap silang magtiwala sa tao.
Actually, there was also this study that I was able to see. It was also by Malcolm Gladwell that the prefrontal cortex of an introvert is what develops faster than the amygdala.
Wow.
The amygdala is like for the emotion.
For the emotions,
yeah,
yeah.
the prefrontal cortex is like for
For the-
logical thinking.
yeah.
So
I think you just lost me there.
Father is a diamond in the rough, a unique specimen.
A shiny piece of coal.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a break, and when we return, we'll define more of what should stop now and what should go on.
So don't go.
Don't go away.
La 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 la. Whoa, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Kahit tagal din na, ito'y kinikimkim. Kung sasabihin ba ay diringgin.
Aaminin bang tinatagong lihim? Pag-ibig mo ay tangi kong hiling.
Parang isang pagsusulit na bawal magburawan, sitapat pa ng kopyahan.
Pag-isipang mabuti,
Pagkat isang tanong lang naman,
keep na ba?
anong na?
Sure na ba?
Sige na, ang ayoko lang naman ma-feel out of place. Kaysa ba?
Ano na?
Sure na ba?
Oo na.
Wala nang bawian, mamatay man, but you know it is. No, 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 oh, oh. No, 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 oh. Wala nang bawian, mamatay man, but you know it is. No, 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 oh, oh. No, 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 oh. Wala nang bawian, mamatay man, but you know it is. Oh.
No, 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 no.
Nooy nagtatanim ang sabi ko'y ayaw na lang. Ngayong nagpunga ang pag-ibig ay abang lang ng kabang.
Di ba't noong nasa dilim ika'y nagbuhat ng kinang? Ngayon ako'y mapapansin sa iyong liwanag ay iba.
Parang isang pagsusulit na right man is wrong. Kung di alam ay wag hulaan.
Pag-isipang mabuti,
Pagkat isang tanong lang naman,
iba pa?
anong na?
Sure na ba?
Sige na, ang ayoko lang naman ma-feel out of place. Kaysa ba?
Ano na?
Sure na ba?
Oo na.
Wala nang bawian, mamatay man, but you know it is. No, 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 oh. Wala nang bawian, mamatay man, but you know it is. No, 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 oh. Wala nang bawian, mamatay man, but you know it is. Parang isang pagsusulit, kumpletuhin ang patlan at bawal ang tsambahan.
Pag-isipang mabuti,
Pagkat isang tanong lang naman,
iba pa?
anong na?
Sure na ba?
Sige na, ang ayoko lang naman ma-feel out of place. Kaysa ba?
Ano na?
Sure na ba?
Oo na.
Wala nang bawian, mamatay man, but you know it is. No, 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 oh. Wala nang bawian, mamatay man, but you know it is. No, 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 oh. Wala nang bawian, mamatay man, but you know it is. Sige na, ang ayoko lang naman ma-feel out of place. Kaysa ba? Sure na ba?
Oo na.
Wala nang bawian, mamatay man, but you know it is. No, 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 oh. No, 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 oh. Wala nang bawian, mamatay man, but you know it is. No, 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 oh. No, 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 oh. Wala nang bawian, mamatay man, but you know it is.
UPK.
UPK is
Genius on air.
UPK is Genius on Air.
Hi guys, we're back.
Hey, you're back.
So
Alright.
we talked about introverts and extroverts. How about
Don't forget the ambiverts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
guidance
Forgot
team.
us. Out
How about insecurities. Do you guys have any insecurities?
A
that
lot.
You're okay
Yeah.
to share?
You know, I think it's not normal if a person does not have any
Insecurities.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow,
Those
perfect
who say
person
that
much.
they don't have insecurities
Wow.
tend to have the most insecurities.
Or they don't know that
They-
they're
they put on
insecure.
the
Yeah.
mask.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think insecurities are also an important factor as to how your personality is molded.
Yeah.
Because there are certain, kasi syempre that's like a boundary, and if you don't step over that boundary, it kind of like diverts you somewhere else. So like you're kind of molding yourself within those parameters.
Let's ask Cass, what are your insecurities, man?
Yes.
Probably, it's probably I'm short. Yeah, I'm not.
Why are you laughing about
Support. I'm here for support. I'm here for support.
So yeah, I think it's not exactly something I should be insecure about, but I tend to think about it sometimes that I'm short and I can't reach stuff on the shelf like the cookies or something.
Yeah, it's okay. I know how you feel. I know how you feel. Like in my group of friends, I'm the shortest one.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, they're really tall.
Father, I'm sorry, but high five.
Yep.
It's not in his face, man.
It's
Yeah.
not in his face.
How about you,
It's
Andre?
1 foot away. Okay.
Well, I'd say that I'm insecure about my chubbiness. Well, syempre, since I'm already an adolescent in puberty, I'd want to, of course, always... Pubescent being. I'd want to, of course, always look pleasant, always. I'd like to look good in anything that I'd want to wear, yung mga ganun. So, yeah, my chubbiness. What about you, Kirk?
Aside from my height, actually they just came up because of Luther. The skin color, man. You know, after a while, I've decided that us Moreno, we look good. We look good, man.
You should be proud.
Yeah, I'm proud. See, you guys don't have this.
Well, you see, the crucial thing is the awareness of it. It's not so much the insecurity. All people have insecurities, but not all are aware of them. But once you're aware, then you can do something about it.
Oh,
Mic drop.
I like that. I like that.
I noticed that you guys, we all mentioned physical insecurity. Is there anything that you can be insecure about that's not seen by a person?
I have one. I am insecure about the fact that I am afraid of conflict between me and another person. Not necessarily between, it's more on me having a conflict with someone else. It's something that I struggled a lot with.
What
Especially
about
in
it,
school.
Ate Kakay? Like, you don't really like confronting itself?
Yes, I don't.
Confrontation?
Yes, I don't like.
Confrontation
I'm not. I feel uneasy when it comes to confrontation, and it makes me very uncomfortable when that happens.
I see.
You know, this is from like the Nintendo Rehabilitation Center. They actually have that, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, the Nintendo. But the first step to solving a problem is admitting you have one.
Oh yeah.
So that's definitely it. As for the insecurity, as I said a while ago, it's really hard to read someone, especially when you keep on talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, do they still think this way of me? Is my perception of them right? Yeah, and then eventually start having these conflicting thoughts about your relationship with that person, and then it just starts deteriorating. You're just
There are
watching
like two
it.
people beating each
Yeah.
other in your head about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's where the irrational fear comes in.
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And
How
it's
about
irritating.
you, Ate? Do you have any insecurities that you would like to
Yeah,
share?
Yes.
within.
Within, yeah.
Let those inner voices talk.
Not being able to solve whatever is whatever
The
needs to be
indecisiveness.
solved. I think, for example, a problem we have to face an issue or something that needs to be dealt with in the office or at home, and my bad habit, it's a bad habit, is I refuse to accept that people weren't able to see beforehand. Kasi for example, I usually do this kasi it's a bad habit of mine that I tend to keep things in my head for example, I notice na the possibilities of what could happen. So I don't warn people. I don't tell people what is in my head. Those that will be affected ha. Pero nakikita ko na pwedeng mangyari yung isang bagay na yon. Kumbaga preventive system.
Yeah.
Tapos pagka naman nasabi ko na, tapos nangyari pa rin yung possibility na hindi dapat na mangyari, na ma-prevent siya, and still people failed. And I tend to be accepting of those who have done that. Kasi parang nasabi ko na sa'yo narinig mo na
Hindi ka pa rin nakinig.
Hindi ka pa rin nakinig. So that's the fault that I have, because I am less accepting of how people can be lacking in understanding na gawan mo na ng paraan bago pa mangyari yun. So yun, it's a bad habit actually. When it comes to insecurity, I'm very insecure of how people would view me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
That's really
It's really
how
shocking.
people would view you, or
Because
they're already.
say, for example, something had happened, and I wasn't there to defend myself or explain myself, and people have judged me. Kasi sinabi ko na to
yeah.
And then, si Army, ganito yan Teka lang, kausapin mo muna ako. I'm very insecure about that because I want every opportunity to be able to explain myself. That's another bad habit. I want to be able to explain myself a lot. Not to prove, but to explain myself a lot. And
To give your stand.
Hashtag relate.
Yeah.
I think the introspection part is not at all a bad habit.
Oh.
Introverts tend to be more introspective. So being more introspective, then they get to see things far ahead than other people can foresee them.
Actually,
You're very observant.
I have to agree with Father, because those conflicts that happen in your head, it actually helps you function as a person. Because like there are these numerous times where I have been presented with an opportunity to do something bad, but because I gave it like 5 seconds of thought, I was able to avoid it. Like for example, I was buying. I just want to share this. I was buying something from this store, and I paid too much money for it. I used like 1,000 peso bill, and then I finally got my change. After putting the item inside a plastic bag, the cashier thought that she didn't give me my change back, so she gave me another 500 peso bill, and I was thinking,
You wanna keep it?
Yeah, I wanted to keep it. I'm not kidding. I wanted to keep it so bad, but after 5 seconds of it, I'm like,
Let it go.
yeah. So
The bill
I
now.
returned it. Yeah, so it's okay. Introversion is a good thing, actually. I think it's a good thing at least.
Good job,
Are there things that we all do, or you guys do every morning or before you sleep at night to motivate yourself, or at least to help you face the day? Are there things that you, pagising ko, of course, we all pray in the morning.
Yeah.
Once we wake up, once we open our eyes, we take time to pray. And then before we sleep at night, we pray, right? But other than that, syempre, a prayer is a relationship with God, but there are things na you have to face it before you get to say a prayer. Pag-iisipan mo muna siya, di ba?
Yeah.
Pag-iisipan mo muna yung bagay na yun before mo ipagdasal. So, are there habits that you do,
I have this
good or
habit.
bad?
I have this habit of talking to myself out loud.
I talk in the mirror. Talk to myself in the
Not the
mirror.
mirror. I just like
Wow.
I'm noticing these things around the room, and it's black. It's
I understand you. I do monologues.
yeah. Especially when you're walking down the street alone. It's like, wow, what a nice day today. I'm wearing a cap, so definitely I'm gonna shave.
Yep. Like, do you ever get mad at inanimate objects?
Yeah, and then after you're gonna question yourself, am I crazy?
What am I doing?
Like, if you're aware of the fact that you're crazy, Father, if you're aware of the fact that you are crazy, are you crazy?
Does that make you
You're
crazy?
probably not crazy because you're aware.
I see. Hindi pwedeng ihatid ng baliw ang isa pang baliw.
But does that work with anxieties as well? Like, if you're
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I have a question about anxiety, Father. It's quite confusing, really. I have anxieties. What exactly? How can you tell that that's an anxiety, or it's just,
Or it's just
Are you overreacting,
or it's
man?
just right? It's just a proper reaction.
Yeah, maiinis ka talaga sa sarili mo eh. Are you just
Is
overreacting?
this normal? Like, what's happening?
Worrying about things is perfectly normal. Everybody worries about something. But if you worry a little too much, consistently, constantly, that is, it sits on your head, on your heart, on your whole person, more than a day or so, then that qualifies as anxiety. But worry is something that you all have at some time in our lives or in the course of a day. Like you could be worried that you might not reach on time for an appointment. But if you're worried every day about not measuring up to an imaginary person, then that's anxiety. It's not just plain worry.
Now we have
Thank you for shining the light.
One thing that is mentioned a lot these days is the word depression.
Yeah.
It's a shame not to recognize when a person is depressed, but
It's also a shame.
and
that they're not-
I speak for everyone. I think that it's difficult to determine your own depressions when a person is depressed as well, and it's also very difficult to reach out to someone who is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a problem on both spectrums, because it's also a shame that there are people who say they have depression where in reality they don't really have. But then again, you can't really say that either, because it really is no clear way of seeing, and it's just hard to tell from both sides. Wow, Father, what
Again, it's a
kind of-
matter of intensity. You have a right to feel sad at any
Given time.
of the day. But if that sadness persists for days or weeks, then that's something else.
Father, can you actually choose to be sad?
Some people do. They find what they call secondary gains by being sad.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a thing.
some people use it to fish for sympathy, so people can pity them, can console them.
Get ahead.
Yeah,
That is sad.
that is
Yeah,
precisely
yeah.
it.
I have met people like that.
Really?
That they use other
They take
people's-
advantage of pity.
Yeah, they do. And
Yeah, they throw a
to be
pity
honest,
party.
I didn't understand it because it happened in high school. So I didn't know that what Father Chito was saying, that thing alone, it is what
Oh
they
yeah, I
use.
remember that friend of
Legit,
yours.
dude.
Well,
Legit.
she would cry
Friendly
and
now.
also till somebody actually notices her and takes
Notices
pity
and
in her. She
I have a
uses
friend
it
like
for
that.
attention.
Friend.
Friend.
Yeah,
Friend.
I have a classmate.
Can you
who's like
guys
that.
relate? Do you guys know people like that?
Yes. The thing is though with my friend, what she does is that she uses her sadness. She tells me what her problems and stuff, and then it's like she makes me locked into not being able to leave her just because of her sadness of her problems. It's as if
Misery loves company.
Yes. Basically that.
Let's talk about bad habits. One bad habit, please, and I beg everybody to do this as much as possible when you meet someone again for the first time and after months or days or years, please don't let them know that they've gotten fat. That is a really bad habit, honestly. It's not a good kind of, it's not a good greeting. When you first thing, wow, I like your shirt, I like your dress, I like your pants, oh, I like how you look today. I think that's better.
It's like in a family reunion, be like, "Uy, kamusta ka na? Ay, tumaba ka." And then a few moments later, when there's like it's Christmas and then there's food. Uy, kumain ka.
That happens a lot on my dad's side of the family,
Wow.
which we tend to see them only during the holidays. And then when we get there, my grandma's like, shh, tumaba ka. Ay, pero meron ako refrigerated cake doon. Ginawa ko yung present. And then when you see them for New Year, ay, pumayat ka. Ay, maganda ka ngayon. It's like, bakit di ba ako maganda nung noon?
Whoa! I like that sass.
I mean, and what's the point of telling someone that? What good will it do to her and to you
Yeah.
by saying those things? It's not nice.
A bad habit that I tend to have sometimes is I overthink things too much. Are you guys guilty of that?
Yeah.
Are you guys guilty of that? I tend to sometimes ate even get so stressed because I'm stressing over something that's just
It's
to be
not
taken
there.
lightly.
Yeah.
You relax. Don't
Yes.
take everything so seriously. And then when I actually do, I feel so much better. I really do.
We counselors always tell people who love to think about those negatives, stop it. That's called thought stopping. Just stop thinking. Just stop thinking you are rotten. That's called thought stopping. It's cognitive-based psychology, cognitive therapy.
But
Yeah.
Father, those who tend to overthink, does that come from their insecurities or as well?
Well, it is fed by the insecurity. But the problem is they keep on rehashing and rehashing the thought. And actually, the thought can be stopped. You change it with something more positive.
Oh.
It's called thought stopping.
Thoughts.
It stops now.
Oh!
Nice.
Speaking of it stops now, let's continue our discussion after the break.
See you later.
Don't go away.
UPK.
UPK is
Genius on air.
UPK is Genius on Air.
Welcome back to our show.
Welcome back.
So, speaking of it stops now, sa mga naninigarilyo, that should stop
Oh.
now.
Yeah.
It's not good.
That ain't good for your lungs.
Yeah. So, Andre, 3 young adult books for our young adult viewers, listeners, and people who appreciate us. So, if you're feeling the same, suggestions.
The first book that I found is 13 Reasons Why, which is about Clay Jensen, who returns from home, finds a mysterious box, with his name lying on his porch.
And basically, the book is about the girl, diba? She commits suicide.
Hannah Baker.
Yeah.
Hannah Baker, who commits suicide,
Yeah.
and she tells her story of why she committed suicide.
The 13 reasons why she committed suicide. Okay, another book.
The second book would be The Fault in Our Stars, which Hazel Grace Lancaster has cancer, and she goes on their adventures with another cancer patient who becomes her boyfriend at the end, and find out more by reading the book.
More book.
And the last book that I found is Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is about 15-year-old Charlie who is coping with the suicide of his friend, and he starts writing letters to a stranger. So that's how he copes with it. And then those are the 3 books that I went able to find.
Okay, and for those who would just like to be inspired or feel better about themselves, Cassie?
That's something for you.
I have researched a few people with disabilities who are motivational speakers. So we have Lizzie Velasquez. She has a syndrome wherein she is unable to gain weight. As good as it sounds, it's not exactly the best thing, but she's empowered by her syndrome. And we have Sam Burns, who has progeria, which means he's a teenager and the effects of
Becomes
aging.
too old,
too fast. But he has 3 philosophies in life. Be okay with what you have, surround yourself with people that you love, and have something to look forward to. And a lot of other persons with disabilities who inspire people every day.
One very prominent is the guy with no legs and arms.
Nick Vujicic. Yeah, he was born without any arms and legs. But he proved to the world that you don't need arms and legs to be productive and
He
do
was able to
amazing
find
things.
peace within himself
Yeah.
through God.
And another woman
can
by
serve.
the name of
Serve.
Stella Young.
Yeah.
Diba? I watched one of her TED Talks, the one where she talked about how we make ourselves feel better being inspired with people with disability. Yeah, sometimes I think about that. When a person has a disability, we tend to think, oh, buti pa siya, nagagawa niya to. Buti pa siya, napoperform niya to. At the end of the day, this person is a person. We all do what we do to survive. We don't have to feel much pity about this person because of a condition. Diba? That's sometimes the things that, it's a bad habit actually.
There's actually this new season called new series on ABC.
Yeah.
I think it's called Speechless.
Oh yeah.
Speechless, and I really like the main character JJ because you can really see that he's a human. Like he's so animated despite the fact that he's paralyzed from the neck down. You can see that he can't speak, of course, but when he talks to people and the dialogue is just really funny.
He talks to people through there's like a laser
Laser
attached
on
to
his head, and then
and then there's a board with
Yeah.
letters.
Yeah, you check
You
the
guys should
trailer.
check that show
It's really funny.
super-
So one bad habit before we give the floor to our Kalakbayan Katoto for his good night talk. One habit that we would like to propose for everyone to stop doing because it is a bad habit actually.
Yeah, it's still in a work. It's still in a work of progress. I'm trying every day. I'm trying real hard. But I swear a lot. Yeah, I swear a lot. That's why I'm really grateful for the jar system. You know, the deterrence
That
thing.
justification
Yeah,
to
the
say
justification.
that. Is it justification to say that the people who swear a lot are more intelligent than most people? Oh, it's a bad habit, yes.
Yeah, it's a bad
Yes.
habit.
Like what Ate Kyra said, we should stop overthinking. Because it puts ourselves down, and people see us down, they'll be down too. So we should try to move each other up, and stop overthinking. Think of the positive things. Move forward.
Oh, I have a bad habit. I guess we should stop making prejudices about people because, of course, you wouldn't want to assume that a person is this and that just based on how he or she looks. It's not a good thing.
You cannot judge a book by its cover.
As the saying goes.
My bad habit. Oh, sorry. It's a bad habit that I think we should stop. Would probably be Instagramming everything you eat. The amount of time that you take to actually eat your food is shorter than the time you lay it all out.
Yeah.
I love photography and I'm all for food photography. I really love it. But you just buy a fry or a frap and then you're gonna take 10 minutes doing this, doing different angles. It's really a bad habit.
Unless you're a food blogger, then you can.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
justifiable.
That's understandable.
That's
yes.
justifiable.
But if you just do it for show,
No.
just stop.
How about you?
One bad habit is it's a habit now that most people have with the age of smartphones. It's difficult to find meaningful conversations now.
Yeah.
Kasi, bawa, nagsasalita pa lang, nagkukwento, okay? So that's a bad habit. When you're driving, ding! Wait lang, sasagot lang ako ng email. And then, when a person is pouring his or her heart out, and then, tas ding! Okay.
You're physically there, but
So,
not
the
conscious.
bad habit is looking down to your phone. Put it out. Put it somewhere else.
Just
Like,
stop.
It will still be there.
Still be
Your
there.
email will still be
The
there.
email will still be there. I think that there will be a search for meaningful, quality conversations in the next so years.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be like a diamond in the rough, like Father Chito here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I suggest watching Black Mirror's episode of what's that episode, Ate? What's the title?
Oh yeah, season 3, episode 1.
Season 3, episode 1.
It tells so much about the age of
smartphones, yes.
social media. We judge each other so much about statuses on social media, but is it real? Okay, with that, we give the floor to our kalakpayan Katoto for his good night talk. The show isn't done yet, so we'll say goodbye later.
Don't go away.
We'll be back.
Getting old is mandatory. Growing old is optional. But growing wise and noble is not bound by time and is open to all. Young in fact and young at heart. Time now for some words that uplift the soul and enrich the heart. Time for GNT. Good night talk from our kalakbay at Katoto.
The singer and songwriter Colby Kea has a beautiful song with beautiful lyrics that touch on our topic quite directly. It is appropriately entitled, It Stops Today. The way young people write nowadays is indicative of the prevailing culture. They write sentences without periods. Every sentence and idea seems to meld together in one endless, seamless lump. Walang tuldok, tuloy-tuloy lang na parang walang katapusan. This is what happens when we cannot put a closure to anything, whether happy or sad. Happy events seem like endless celebrations that ought never to stop at all, while sad events persist in our minds and hearts, and we are unable to say, enough is enough. This, I guess, is an art that we all need to learn, whether young or old. You know, I've met so many people in my life. There are people whose stories never seem to change. Every time you meet them and hear them talk, you hear the same sub-stories, like as if they happened just a few minutes or hours before, even if they happened years ago. They cannot put a period to their sentences, paragraphs, and essays that are repeated over and over again. The funny thing is they emote like as if the events they describe are fresh, even if some of the people they moan about have long since died. Don't you think that's unfortunate?
Oh, it is.
They cannot simply find closure. They also cannot forget, and since they never forget any of the gory details done to them, they also cannot forgive. And since they cannot forgive, they cannot move on. They carry their burdens and hold on to the dramatics of bearing those unbearable burdens everywhere they go. And they seem to be looking for sympathetic ears all the time to listen to their rehashed stories. One thing we all need to learn is to be youthful and hopeful, and that's why I'm learning a lot of lessons from you young people. Being hopeful means not to be burdened by commas, by colons, and semicolons, and emoticons that all have to do with angry birds. We need to let go. We need to learn to move on. And moving on account of a bright future means to be hopeful. Colby's words should come in handy. We all need to put a period to whatever negative there is in our life. And let me quote Colby here. But I can't keep on running. No, I just can't keep on running away from here. I know that the only way to beat it is by fighting my every fear. I'm not going to make it till I turn around and face it alone. I know I can't just keep running. No, I just can't keep on running away. So, it stops today. It stops today. Believe me, it should stop today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. And today, with all its negativities, pains, and heartaches, should not bleed over into a new tomorrow. Tomorrow is a day of hope. Change is coming tomorrow for you and me. And this, my dear friends, is your Kalakbay at Katoto saying good night and God bless you.
Good night.
I'm most glad to be talking to you about something so often repeated in the Bible. To be exact, 365 times. And what is this? Do not be afraid, fear not, and something similar or related to that. That makes fear not something that is worth our while thinking about every day of the year. Every day, however, in our times reminds us of something scary. Truth be told, we are scared of terrorists. I don't know if you are not. I am. We fear for our safety and security every time we travel or even go to the malls. We feel a certain trepidation each time we hear of news and see videos of violence against Christians, against minorities, against people who cannot hold on to anything related to power. In Philippine context, we also fear the traffic on a daily basis. We schedule things not on the basis of our needs, but on the basis of whether or not we think we would get caught up in traffic. Let us face it, we are faced with bad news almost on a daily basis. I wouldn't want to add to this. Neither do I want to further aggravate matters by working on your fears. No, I am a priest of the Holy Roman Catholic Church, and my mission, my task, my duty is to preach hope. My bread and butter comes from doling out reasons for hope and convictions of faith and basis for greater love for the Lord. The Lord was straightforward about what should not be the cause of our fears. Do not be afraid of those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. I am reminded of that movie entitled Silence, based on Shusaku Endo's novel of the same title. The Christians then in Japan were subjected to so much suffering and torture and ultimately death on account of their faith. Whilst there were those who apostatized, the greater numbers remained steadfast and strong in their faith and held on to their beliefs at the cost of their lives. That was the ultimate courage, a courage that I am not sure I will have the same of when I would find myself in the same set of circumstances. The basis of that courage, if we go by today's passage, tells us simply this: God has got us all covered. Not a hair falls without the knowledge of God. More than this, God recognizes and assures our dignity, for we are worth more than sparrows. If our dignity and worth is so much, and not even a strand of hair falls down without Him knowing it, then we must be special creatures. We must be especially loved by God. Today, I would like you to pray for all Christians who are faced with a choice that would spell either their life or their death. In persecuted lands, including our own country, Christians are being forced to confess to a faith that they don't profess. We bring to them God's compassion and caring. In our own feeble efforts, we are now the incarnation of this all-compassionate love and concern of the God whose most frequent reminder for all 365 days is, do not be afraid. I am convicted. I am shamed. For many times I give in to fear, Lord. And Lord, in my anguish, hear me. Lord, in my fears, defend me. God of mercy and compassion, in the midst of so much uncertainty and seeming defeat, be my strength. Let me not be afraid. Let me believe and trust in your power and mercy, and lead me, Lord, to the paths that lead to genuine and ultimate freedom. Amen. And this, my dear friends, is your Kalakbay at Katoto in this week's episode of Puso sa Puso, saying thank you and God bless you.